In this presentation, we will talk about the configuration pages and how you use them to fill out your staging checklist. When building and configuring a specific machine, you can use information provided on the HPA3 setup checklist to confirm information that exists on the configuration pages you print out. The HPA3 setup checklist will be used while building the unit, and afterwards will be used to confirm and configure the machine. On the checklist, you will find such information as the company name, who built the unit, and information that can be taken directly from the config pages, the unit's model and serial number. In addition, we will use the setup checklist to confirm whether or not we have configured the LPDC and upgraded the firmware. The first section of the configuration pages that we will use is the device information section. The device information section will include the product name, and it will also include the product serial number. Both of these pieces of information should match what you have at the top of the setup checklist. Unless otherwise instructed by the customer, the firmware must be updated to the latest date code. Under the device information section, you will be able to determine the bundle version of the firmware and the date code. Next on the device information section, we can check the number of engine cycles that have been run through the copier machine. Engine cycles includes all copies, color and black and white, that have been run through a particular unit. There must be a sufficient number of engine cycles to reflect a print test for a particular machine.
Print test training is available at the Mod Delivery training website. Print test for HPA3 models is a short video presentation. Print test and engine cycles is a document.
The next important section of the configuration pages is the Installed Personalities and Options section. In this section, we can check some accessories and the speed of the copier.
Certain accessories, such as this RFID proximity reader, will appear in the Installed Personalities and Options section of the configuration pages.
The information for that card reader would be listed under Other USB Accessories on the Installed Personalities and Options section. The last two numbers in the main unit model number indicate the speed of the copier. For example, this indicates an E825 with a speed of 60 pages a minute. Your staging checklist requires that you confirm that it was configured with this speed. LPDC configuration can be checked in the last line of the Installed Personalities and Options section. You can see it listed here with the word configured and the number 2.
The LPDC has 3 possible settings. 0 is the default or lowest page speed. 1 is the medium page speed. 2 is the maximum page speed. For example, in a model 778, 0 would be set for 22 pages a minute. 1 would be set for 25 pages a minute, and 2 would be set for the maximum speed of 30 pages a minute.
The Paper Trays and Options section contains several important pieces of information that we will use in the completion of our setup checklist. Using this section of the configuration page, we will be able to determine if the machine is correctly seeing our finisher unit. For example, this inner finisher. We will also be able to determine whether or not we have set all of our paper trays to the required 8.5 by 11 paper size. All paper trays must be set to 8.5 by 11 and will be reflected as such in this section of the Paper Trays and Options. Confirm under Nickname that the machine is seeing your finisher, in this case the inner finisher. Paper tray size and finisher functionality are both checked off on the setup checklist. The last lines on the paper tray and option document all available output bins. In this example, there is one main output bin from the inner finisher as well as an alternate bin, which will place paper on top of the inner finisher. If the unit you are staging has come with an analog fax board, you can also use the configuration pages to determine whether or not this has been installed correctly. If your analog fax accessory has been successfully installed in your machine, your configuration packet will include this page. This page will only print out if the fax accessory has been correctly installed.
After completing all required staging configuration and the setup checklist, review both the post-assembly process and the example packet documents available at the mod training website to determine what needs to be sent to the service@moddelivery email address.